Hello and welcome to this presentation of Oxford High School, Assessing and Adapting the School Schedule, done by Kevin Bell for EA 915, Economic and Operational Dimensions of Education for Worcester State University. This presentation is about how we can better take our current schedule and change it to align to our student goals. So this is the agenda today. First, we'll talk about things that are being assessed. We're going to assess the Response to Intervention Team, or RTI, as it'll later be referred to. Our common planning time, priority scheduling that we have for special ed, APs, ELL classes, and instructional time. Then we'll look at adaptations and recommendations that we'll make to help align to our goals. The first area of assessment is response to intervention. Currently, this is an informal process and it's disorganized. Typically starts after a teacher makes a referral to guidance or a special ed liaison, and then it just gets scheduled whenever the special education teacher or guidance counselor basically has a chance. There's no set schedule, no set time for this. There's also little opportunities after school. Many teachers leave immediately right after the school day. So the needs here are we have no set times for intervention. We should have a set scheduled regular time. And then we should offer some flexible after school hours for those interventions. Common planning time is the next area. Currently, each subject receives 1 period per week during the school day. Duties are realigned to make this possible, and then teachers take notes, discussion of reference. This is one of the strongest things that we have going in our schedule. Every subject has at least 1 hour of common planning time with other members of that department. Priority scheduling, there's a master schedule that gets generated at the beginning of the year. In its program, it targets first academic support for students with IEPs who need that sub-separate space. They get first priority scheduling, and then comes right after ELL, and then staff that we share with the middle school, such as music teachers and the chorus teacher and potentially art teachers sometimes, depending on the year. That is a hard set thing because we can't make certain classes, we can't offer certain electives if it doesn't work in the teacher schedule to bounce between the middle school and elementary school and then up again to the high school. AP classes are given the second priority. Fortunately, it does not conflict too much with the previous students, the IEP academic support groups and the AP classes. Those aren't typically overlapping as well. And then seniors get first priority on their schedule, and then juniors and sophomores and freshmen outside of the basic blocks that get generated. So the needs, we do not have priority scheduling for co-taught classes. We do have 2 teachers, a special education teacher and an education teacher, and a certain amount of English classes. Currently, those are over the 50% ratio that those need to be. We need to look at a way to give them priority scheduling as well. We should also have a well-established schedule for math and English, and then we need an intervention time or a win block as well. So instructional time, we have 1 25-minute advisory block per week. That's currently dedicated to social-emotional learning, community building. While these are positive, this could also be used as a possible intervention time. We do have 7 periods a day. Periods 1 to 3 rotate every day, so it's a different first period every day. We do this to target tardies and absences. A vast majority of our fails last year came in period 1, a number that should not have correlated, and we found that one of the many reasons was absences. So we are rotating periods 1 to 3 only. We can't rotate the full schedule because we, again, have shared staff that bounces through building. And then we have 1 period 7 fire science class, which is taught by a member of the community from the fire department. And that needs to be a set time as well. So those end of the day periods can't change. We have many classes that are mixed grades as well. So what we need to do, we need to protect our sacred blocks like math and English. For example, all 9th grade English classes should take place around the same time, math, English, particularly those 2. We should encourage students to have extracurricular activities and receive extra help after school. Currently, that doesn't really happen too much at Oxford High School. As a reminder to what the goals are, By 2031, Oxford High School will improve math proficiency from 38% to 48%. Of those, we want to improve the score of low-income students, an additional 10% increase. And we want 100% of students participating in grade-level instruction in all areas by 2031. The following recommendations are how we can better get closer to those goals. So, to analyze our response to intervention team, the recommendation I'm making, we could use those advisory blocks for interventions. A targeted intervention specifically for students who are struggling in math or ELA would be a more effective use of time than social emotional learning. What we could do, we could free up math teachers and English teachers, advisory blocks, assign those to other teachers, spread the students out. Each other teacher would increase one or two, maybe one or two students, and then they would have an advisory block free to do targeted interventions during that time. We also might want to make that block a little bit longer to make it more effective for those targeted times. I also recommend that we use department time meetings for CPT work. We should take advantage of the contracted hour that the teachers are forced to stay after once a month. We should be encouraging particularly the guidance department to do their CPT work after school, and then when they meet in that CPT block, use that as their response to intervention, that RTI time. This allows our targeted interventions during the school day while the kids are here. This is the best time to do interventions. Common planning time, we're going to use the department meeting and faculty meetings for more common planning times, particularly for the math and English departments. Use the full allotted time to come up with strategies as well. Oftentimes, CPT happens in the main office. We have administrators come, check in, make sure everybody's there. They get assistance from our curriculum coordinator, but not too much happens in that department meeting after school. We should be taking advantage of that hour more as well. And that could also allow for check-ins by admin. Now that the students are gone, this meeting happens after school. We could use those as a more effective scheduling block. We should give priority scheduling to inclusion classes. This is the main issue that we have. This gets us to under the 50% ratio. This targets our special education students. We can identify students who may need an intervention sooner. It's a tough ask of our special education teachers and our core curriculum teachers to do these interventions when over half their class is on an IEP with individualized plans. That is a lot of information to learn, and we can't reasonably expect all of these accommodations to be met when 20 of the 25 students in a class are on an IEP. My recommendation for instructional time, we should prioritize that intervention block for math ELA. That was that aforementioned advisory block. We should be taking that, extending that a little bit, giving our math and English teachers and our intervention content area intervention teachers more time during that advisory block to do targeted interventions towards those students. How this relates to goals, we're specifically getting on our low-income students if they're struggling and our low-performing students right away. The earlier we can assess an intervention and the earlier we can do this, the higher achievement that we'll likely meet. So, in conclusion, our RTI process right now is currently informal. We should formalize this by using the guidance department CPT time to have a formal RTI block. They could use their CPT time in that department meeting after school. So the CPT currently is sufficient right now. I don't think we need to make any changes for those except maybe, taking advantage of those department meetings that come after school. We also have priority scheduling for inclusion, which is a must because currently we are over the Massachusetts guidelines for special education teachers as well. If we follow these recommendations, this will get us closer to our goal of improving math and English proficiency in all of our students by 10%, and especially our low-income students by 10%. In Oxford, low-income students is about half our population. We should be targeting this half of the population that needs our help. Thank you for taking the time to watch this presentation. I look forward to any feedback that you may provide.